Yeah, just the exercise that they don't have no knowledge.
Non sai lavoro
I'm thinking, if I signed up to say that if we
you'll guarantee
I So I said, well, when Becky was there, I don't understand all these facts. This is three different
No, well,
yeah, one's a bursary.
You get loads.
my dad
A grant you don't pay back. A loan you pay back.
But when Becky went to college, university,
He's discussing something else, but he does hold the
the
championship
government
record at
paid for
89
it.
metres,
So it's changed now.
work. He doesn't even
And
know
as far as I know, you used to pay it, so you've got to get a loan to pay it.
You pay,
Alex, this final,
it's a
for
student
me,
loan. It's just like anybody going to
slightly wide
university.
open. We've
You
got
have to,
David
if you
here.
want to go,
He's
you
a
have to.
European being 87
Whereas at
04,
one
but he's
time,
only throwing in
10
three
years ago,
competitions.
it was
For
all
me,
paid for.
he's the favourite
But then
because he's
you
got
take
that
it.
mark.
But
But if him
the
or
bursary,
Bangladesh
you
falter,
don't pay back a
and there's a
ton.
whole host of men that could back it out behind.
And the grant, it's a great, whatever type of grant,
Would
you
love
don't
to get
pay
a good
back the
throw
grant.
out here.
So I said, that's
Just a loan.
Becky. So she says,
To get a bursary, a grant or a loan, you still have to come from a low
and they're going to
income.
have the following win for the first time all
Yeah.
week. And I couldn't think of a
But
better
when you
option
put your
to
name
get
down, you're not
following
putting
win
yourself down if you don't pay back.
Favourite
so
and
then
manager
Ella
in
said,
tip-top
oh,
shape. There's a
she
chance
said,
they push
I
each
only
other
have
over
to pay
90
£30
metres, which would
a
be
month
special.
when I get But I know Becky pays more than that.
If you don't, it depends on how much you earn. It goes on a percentage.
So I suggested, yes, I don't know. Becky pays, I don't have that.
It's a percentage of your earnings.
Oh, she might just pay £30 of what she went. She didn't have to wait for the course. So Alison has to pay back what she went for the course to the university.
It's not like they're getting it. They don't get it.
She has to pay that back as well as the loans. Becky only had loans.
Yeah, Martha, you should go on early, shouldn't you? Martha didn't have to pay all that. Because she's never earned enough to pay all that. But Becky's, she pays back because she's on an higher wage.
She only pays the loan.
That's how we've got life. This one.
They actually have to pay that for back.
Yeah, because Becky didn't have to pay for it.
And I said to her,
Yeah, but the thing is, that 3,000 a year, what it costs her, or what most costs her, that is in your loan. That's what we're
no, so she'll have to get more loan.
Has just done as favourite, the world record holder. She's last
To
in the
the top.
jumping order of the 15 athletes out there. Angelina
Yes,
Thomas.
well,
that's what bursary's for.
Alright, so
She was a great athlete, European champion back in
She's got flat.
1990. Maria
She's getting a flat £600.
But that's her choice, that was
I know,
paying.
that's what I'm saying.
Well, she's
That's
one
her
of the seven
choice, that was
athletes
paying.
in six indeed in this final. Have cleared 2
You
metres
can get
in the
those
process.
flats
A
and
very
down,
high
shoulder
caliber field,
flats and
big
down. You have
field,
your
with
flat.
15 starters. Delivering on the day. The javelin throwers have got a 10.
Plus,
Well, these ladies
you go to a
running into
private
slightly
one
as they approach the
which
bar.
you
Let's
must
take a look
do.
at all of them. There's
you're signing.
India, Veroni, 3 times
No,
the
you don't
Italian
do
champion,
that
didn't
now.
qualify for the World
That sounds
Championship final last year.
So you could just go in and move out after a week. I'm not saying that.
Put me down, yeah.
So whatever you put down, that's like,
They can take it off the price, yeah. But you don't sign me this one.
191, set in qualifying again. 197 no last time. That's Galachenko. Now watch out, the Ukrainian Olympic bronze medalist back in 2024, second in the Ukrainian Championships, of course, behind Pahuchik Zotic. Goes in there as well for Poland. She's a 2-meter jumper as well. Oxel of Germany. Christine took 2 meters in the past. She's a 194 jumper this season. There's the second Italian, Asiata Benini. Remember, the Italians had 3 men in the men's final last night to end up with gold. There's the Estonian, Carmen Bruce. She's 7th in the jumping order.
Finnish national record holder Ella Junila Rode next. She's her 4th last time out in Rome. Louise Ekman of Sweden spent 9 years in the 180s before breaking through to 196 this season. I already mentioned Maria Vukovic and EPV breaking her 5-year lifetime ban. She's also a previous silver medalist at this event. Morgan Lake delighted to make this final show. Admittedly, it's a knee injury to the British athlete. Alina Kulichenko of Cyprus just came 5th in the Commonwealth Games. She's the NCAA indoor and outdoor champion last year. Celine Dequel of France, 15th at the World Championships a few years ago, 12-time French champion.
And there's Angelina Topic, the youngster, just 21 years old. Huge talent, 198, a couple of years back now. At the age of 19, hasn't yet been able to break into the 2-meter club. But this lady has defending champion Yaroslava Mahuchik of Ukraine. She's a delightful lady, speaks very good English. 2:10, her world record from 2 years ago. Breaking the very long-standing world record of 2:09 set by the Bulgarian Kostadinova back at the World Championships in '87.
David Begner of Poland in this javelin final then. Personal best came in Tokyo last year to make the final. Over 85 metres there. Javelin drops down short of 80 metres there. As I said, throwing from the opposite end to which they qualified. The wind is will sit in that wind. 78-62 for Wegner. Second behind Bukowski, who's also in this final at those national championships.
Yes, I definitely didn't consider that.
Final, and what a battle this could be, because we had incredible times in qualification, including fastest ever time. 5 women were sub 50, and in the past, only 2 had ever been sub 50. So understand, by the way, that Amber Anning has withdrawn and replaced by Charlotte Henry, who was disappointed not to make the final, but what a breakthrough she has had this year. That's another athlete in great form, really. It's so hard to choose between a number of top contenders, particularly the breakthroughs they've made in recent times. Henrietta Jaeger trying to do the treble at the European Under-23 Championships on this event, just beating Yemi Mary John, who's in this final. John might hope for
They didn't hit me
to beat Jaeger on her home soil compared to being in Norway last summer. So they changed them. UK national record holder Amber Anning replaced by Charlotte Henry, looking a little nervous on the start line, but she needn't be. Given her agreement this year, but 51.68 to 40.55. But Lord Manuel, this is an athlete who's really learned how to run the 400 metres. A little bit erratic early in her career, but very different now. 49.3 at best. Henrietta Jaeger, 2/10 faster. Already with a mixed relay gold, of course, alongside Carsten Barhol. What pairing? Natalia Bukiewicz, the reigning champion, and she said she was hoping to run sub 49 in this final. Only done that 3 times in her career. Lika Kramer, the bronze medalist 2 years ago, 49.58. She's also improved this year, as has Yemi Henry John, floated under 50 seconds, 49.85. And Helen Burnett, 0.5 seconds PB in qualification. It was 58.
Yep, exactly.
And on the inside, Paula Sevilla, 50.21. Her personal best. Natalie who's a very important part of their settled relay quartet. But really, we're looking to the athletes who have broken 50 seconds to be among the medalists. I feel like someone of real quality is going to miss out here. Bukowiecka had a Lakey and Clara were the medalists 2 years ago, and the Irish woman getting a silver in the 200 metres, of course. She would love to be in this final, but performed over the long distance. The one lap not the strongest here. But
Watch me once again.
Burnett, John, Clara, Bukowiecka, Jaeger, Manuel, and Henry on this near side.
Thank you.
So,
I got
Jaeger, such a brilliant fighter. Proving that national record in London this year. 49.50.
I would say so.
Always such a brilliant finisher. Of course, Natalie who broke Irene Svinska's long-standing record a couple of years ago. So Jaeger going nicely there in the blue of Norway. Watch out in the white and red. Look at the Eska. Trying to make up ground. Lika Klaver often starts out and fades toward the end of the race. But Jaeger might have this all her own way. Down the home straight. Goodness me, look at this margin that the Norwegian has. Has she taken incredible gold? It's a personal best. It's just over a tenth of a second. Extraordinary. We've seen run faster and faster over the last few years.
I need to do a lot more damage to be able to do this dungeon.
Was hers already, and it's a margin of a second ahead of the shell-shocked Bukowiecka. Nika Klaver, look on her face, tells you she wanted more than bronze. For Norwegians, they've also got their personalised T-shirts.
Well, I think everybody is stunned with that last 100 metres, that home straight run of Henrietta Jaeger. Bronze medalist won indoors last year. She won a semi-final with 49.80, and then she did have a great lane in 7, although Bukowiecka, the defending champion, was inside her. But the pole, well, she must be utterly flabbergasted at the strength of Jaeger down the home straight there. 49.04. I mean, that is just ridiculous. It's just looking, it's one of the fastest times in the world this year. It's about the 5th or 6th fastest time in the world this year. 5th fastest time in the world this year. Now, this is where you expect Bukowiecka to come back. She's strong down the home straight. You called it right, Alex. Klaver there in the orange of the Netherlands always struggles on the last 50. She always commits really hard. She's a great runner. Does take the bronze. But look at Jaeger. I mean, that's a 7 or 8 metre winning margin. That is phenomenal. It's probably the most unexpected manner of victory of the entire week.
Yes, it's the 7th fastest time in European history, actually going just behind Natalia Kazmarek's personal best of 48.90. But Kazmarek, sorry, she's written here as Kazmarek, but of course now she's Bukowiecka. She expected to run faster. Lors Manuel said she struggled with the wind and didn't want to push against it in qualifying, but was looking to run faster. But this one athlete really did triumph on the day. Just look at the joy on her face. She's a double European champion here in Birmingham.
175 trillion.
Absolutely stunning.
I should be able to kill one.
People don't win European titles in the 400 by 7 metres and going away and running a big personal best. Well, they've got a series of races behind them anyway, but she has been in phenomenal form. She has a gold from the mixed 4x400 metres relay on the first evening. That was on Monday evening, 5 or 6 days ago now. And Bukowiecka there, wearing the gold bib. She's in the red and white and polo, wearing the gold bib because she's the defending champion.
Yeah, you've got
Well, there she loses her title. She doesn't lose her title, she doesn't retain her title. Today she's still champion from 2 years ago in Rome. But that is utterly... I'm shell-shocked, actually, with the calibre of that run from Jaeger.
You can hear her saying that she's shocked. The interview in Stadium. So Jaeger, European lead time 49.04, exactly a second. And Bukowiecka, Klaver in third.
Nick Thum up next for Germany. Lifetime best in qualification, 83.49. And they back it out. Carry the ball from the other side.
I can't help except non-mage stuff in my inventory currently.
83.71 for Weber, and that's brilliant.
So
for
like
Thum.
9 I've got
Krokowski was
like
in second place, Baglich in third. But with that first round effort, Thum makes it 1-2
to see if I get
for
anything
Germany.
better or good.
It's still dipping slightly.
Oh, yes, thank you for the carry.
Dying in the last bit is javelin. A bit more in that. 81 metres 80. It's Johnny!
Are you kidding me?
So, men's triple jump final. Of course, we saw Daria Derkach of Italy win gold, and there is a strong Italian contingent here as they hope to their 5 gold so far, or 6 in fact, because we saw the race world, didn't we? But leading the medal table anyhow. Very cool and nonchalant looking for Diaz Hernandez. Of course, Pedro Machado, he did his job in qualification, one and done, and then just sat there lying with his arms folded in the sand bin.
And we did talk about that sort of carefulness for Machado and Diaz Hernandez. It's almost who can be more laid back. And the speed at which the men are dawdling for their lineup is hilarious. These triple jumpers, the stadium's ready to meet them. We're ready to meet them, and they're just playing a game of who can stand in line slowest.
Athletes struggled a little bit with the wind in qualification, similar to the long jump final. Weren't any personal bests or season's best. But Diaz Hernandez 17 metres and 5. Only by Machado 17.16. Of course, only needed one go, so I'm sure through the benefit of improving through a series, he might find more. But sometimes we see him produce great distance, then relax, then pass.
Going into that. I think that's good for it, but
It's a championship record 2 years ago, third all
the
time.
lowest amount
Jordan
you
Diaz
have to be
14.
earning before you start training. It's 29,000.
Representing Portugal with 6 gold medals across the Olympics, World Championships, and Europeans. Pedro
When you start paying back at that level, you pay 10%.
best of 1808, 1804 2 years ago, and only
It's
silver.
30,000 years.
Diaz Hernandez, 1787 at best.
Why are 12 and 30,000?
10% of 30,000.
He got the silver medal in Tokyo last year with his personal best of 1764. Next up, Ball representing Turkey, European Under-23 finalist. This is 44-year-old Dimitrios Tsiamis of Greece, third in late 2018 in his 5th European final now. Kendiras Kingley, Austrian national record twice this year.
Second of 3 Turkish athletes here. Chan Ojipak, Turkish champion. This is his teammate, Dijati a lifetime best of 17.77 7 years ago. Reborn City of Italy, the 9th at the World Championship last year. That was his career performance.
Kids in fight.
The one of France.
What I'm saying is, if you say Becky's already paid, so what's the
38. Daniel Sendero-Free of Hungary. He's a 3-time champion for them. And our final athlete, Jonathan
and
Seller.
when you work it out, over
Great progress this year. There's a decision to go over to the United States, and he wasn't happy with this setup in France, and said it suited him wonderfully out over 17 metres this season. So out of all our field finals, 12 of them get 3 attempts, and the top 8 go through to the second half of the competition. So much field action this evening. The men's javelin, the women's high jump, and then this men's triple jump.
Okay, the thing.
it says how much you repay depends on your income. The amount you earn, including things like bonuses and overtime.
Yet to win a goal.
Before
Not sure whether it's going to happen here, but
Then it says the amount you owe, which is the total of what you borrow.
Okay.
Plus,
16-2 needed.
I don't pay that much bother.
Real surprise how low that was.
Has no impact on the amount you repay each year. You will repay a percentage of your income over the income threshold for your type of loan. Then it says the income thresholds are different
in the middle of a
for
packed
each
session
type
like
of
this as
loan.
well. A really stunning performance. So, quick active steps and then accelerate
But the
down
lowest
this runway.
Threshold
Practically
income
into the 3 phases.
26,900.
Over 70 metres, not too far, shy
That's
of
always
18 here. Very interesting to see these early wind readings as we see the one flag go up.
Earn up to that and not pay up that.
Will be a valid measure.
And then it says you'll repay either 9% of your income over the threshold if you're on plan 1, 2, 3, 4, or 6% if you're on postgraduate loan. Then it says, for example, you're on plan, which is what most people do, and have an income of 3,000 a year, meaning you'll get paid 2,700. And off of that, you'll pay back 509,000.
1787, and that would have got a little bit of a scare there for Machado. He's just 9 centimetres shy of that.
Although you pay 9% of that,
That's it.
£45 a month. But to pay for if you're paying £45 a month,
in Rome at the European Championships
that's
2 years
not
ago.
top.
His Italian nationality with ability to compete for Italy came in just in
So
time
you still
for
get
the Olympic Games.
2,700 a month. What does that work out at?
Since then, in the
And
Italian
then you've got your
best.
tax,
Absolutely
you've got tax
brilliant.
off,
Couple of
Yeah.
world indoor titles,
you've got
European
the
indoor
tax off, right?
one as well.
You value by a car, it's £675 a
Machado
week.
loved to
Yeah,
just
yeah,
pop
that
out of it going in the first round. Here goes the Italian Diaz Hernandez, a hop, a step, and a jump, and he soars into the pit. That is well in excess of 18 meters, and look at that. No reaction, no emotion. This guy is cool as a cucumber. He's 1780s old. I'm not as cool as a cucumber. Oh, massive.
No, we've had a few moments like that, like the wind in the men's 200 last night, when we were excited for a moment about the first German potentially going sub 20 seconds, and then we saw the wind. Consistently windy, consistently hot. Many of athletes be complaining about that, but also very pleased to be
Oh, thank
on the
goodness.
fast track, I think fast runway too. So Andrea Dalla
I've got to put another thing in my
we did have a high jump
Look,
last night.
health or something.
He turned around his knee there, but still healthy amount of distance. So this
I'm gonna put it in the stomach.
field finals and javelin high jump as well, of course. 3. Dalla Valle. Draws these up nice and high at the finish there.
Experience Athletics
Mm.
with Le Gruyere AOP.
I get the 2 little brats that were after you.
Not everyone can win. The ones who do, they're different. Precision, checkmate. Calm. Control. Creativity. Killer instinct. This is what winning is made of. The Esports World Cup. The most prestigious poker event in the world. $10 million to the winner. One stage. Every hand matters. Every decision changes everything.
You're talking me,
Champions rise.
weirdos.
World Series of Poker 2026.
Nice.
Some guys have flair, and then there's Kugan rivals. TNT Sports. Experience Athletics with Le Gruyere AOP.
He does 25 laps of the track. The Italian is taking gold through Bataclesi. Just a couple of nights ago, she blew him away completely, as she had done earlier in the week over 5,000 metres. There's the favourites, though. Andres Almgren, super consistent Swede, European record at 5,000. Jimmy Grassi of France, the world champion last year in Tokyo at 10,000 metres. And Lobalu of Switzerland, Dominic Lobalu is the defending champion. Let's have a look at these athletes from the outside. It is a big field, 25 starters. Magnus Tuva Mira of Norway there. Kimeli, watch him, the Belgian, second European cross country. And O'Leary of Ireland. Which, I guess the Irish are going to be running with just a little bit more fire in their bellies.
Oh, they certainly are. And Jimmy Gracie is going to have fire in his belly as well. Brilliant sprint finish in Tokyo. Has eluded him so far in 2026. He was 4th in the 5K outside the medals. Andreas Almgren focusing only on this 10,000 metres. Kripper stepping down from the marathon, back down from the marathon. Contender race that he won in 2022. David Malarkey won the Isle of Man's first ever Commonwealth Games athletics medal in Glasgow. A bronze over this distance. Such a big step up for the Brit. Helfen of Spain starts the second group in top 10 at the last 4 European Cross Country Championships. Bedar, 2023 World University Games champion and a defending champion at the Value of Switzerland. He's been slightly off form this year. Couldn't quite sprint with the best in the 5K. He was 7th a few days ago. Israel steeplechaser. Andy Ali's having a really brilliant year, lots of lifetime bests. Joe Whitfield taking the calls from the British crowd. Mike Foppen, 12th in Tokyo last year, and has lowered some of his own Dutch national records since then. Roger Jacoli of Israel.
What do you mean?
Inside here. In this race was the Swiss number 1, so the value started lowering the records. And Barton Magnussen of Iceland is actually grown up in Yorkshire, so he might feel like this is one of the home championships for him. Guerra of Italy, Van Berda of Netherlands, Bonnie of Belgium, Pascal Salvador. Mention that goal for Battagletti in the women's race. Scott Beatty, who's 5th in that Commonwealth Games 10,000 metres. 6th all-time in the UK over this distance. Guyon of France goes on the inside. Former steeplechaser.
I've got fungal poison.
So he's a real tactical
I know it's me.
Just a lot of them will go there just to spend time, and when they're getting all that money given them, it's happy days, isn't it? I remember being up the stage when one of them went to a wall and said,
he's back on the town circuit, struggled somewhat in the Diamond League, so I wonder if he's just got to go for one race. He was great in Tokyo last year, taking the bronze medal in the 10K, and then he didn't make the final in the 5K. I wonder if that experience, or that bad experience of doubling for Almgren, has played into his decision just to do the one race here this week.
wow,
Well, traditionally, this race is very, very slowly. Once in the last
Yeah,
8
but
editions, as the winning time been
it's only just started last year when he had to make that.
Well, now, that's probably advanced about 40 seconds through various technological advancements.
Yes,
But,
but
this is not going to be a 27-20
you want
race,
the
certainly not
power
at this, with this sort of start.
you used to be able to get a lot of
5,000 and 10,000 being raced very slow, and this looks like it's going to be an absolute job for a few years. It's only gets frustrated and maybe injects some tempo to this one. The Italians, 3 athletes in this field, and they won this title in 2022 in Munich, but back in the 80s, early
Because a lot of
90s, they were
because at one time the
1982.
golf,
Alberto Koga winning gold in Athens.
So they were only getting
Hines
along,
took
so
gold
they
in
don't-
1960. He's now CEO of the Italian Federation. And the Salvatore Antibo in 1990, in split, they took a
That's why they used to come over from China and all that.
perfectly capable of going on to medals here today. He's super fast, a sub 60-minute half marathon run. He's got plenty of strength. Might have lost a bit of his speed, and that could be a factor. He's in 4th place at the moment, Cripper, and I wonder if he will be one who'll take it on.
83 seconds for the first 400 metres. I think that's slower than the
That's what used to get played because they used to do it in university, didn't they? They used to do it in university
Mike
training.
Foppen going to the front at the moment. I think we're going to see a load of these moves where people just leapfrog a few athletes and then settle back in. Almgren's in a good position. I think you're right, Tim, to question your man Cripper's sprint finish. I think if this goes up, it comes down to the last 5 laps, I think the Italian could really struggle. He has made that great move up to the marathon, the win in the Paris Marathon this spring for Cripper. Kind of, I don't think cemented his move to the marathon after a few disappointing performances in a few months before. 2:05 and a win in a big city marathon. It means full focus for Cripper when we look towards Beijing World Championships, LA Olympics will be the marathon, but it's just brilliant to see him here racing on the track today.
Well, Jimmy Gressier in the red shorts there, back in about 6th place. Very fast finisher, we know that. Although he hasn't been in his best form this summer after taking the world title in Tokyo last September. That was just a couple of weeks after he won the Diamond League 3,000 metres in Zurich, where remember it was a storming finish. That form, that winning form, and that sprint finish seemed to have evaded him, or he's not been able to find that same rich form this year. Nonetheless, he's possibly capable of taking this one here tonight after what was for him a disappointing medal in the 5,000.
There goes Vidal over to get a quick drink. Do we think back to those tactics of Jimmy Gressy in the 5K, Timmy? He did put an effort in the last few laps. Was it too little, too late? And he's got to do something different today? Or no, it's going to be interesting to see what a French world champion decides to do in this London distance.
Didn't even press that. What a
The
shot.
bank of Turkey
Get it.
here. Personal best 1677. 10 times national champion, including the doors. 1658 this year. So one run up for him. Builds up the speed, carries the momentum quite nicely there. And you can see those lines, gold, silver, and bronze. Looks to put himself up into third place. Let's wait for confirmation of this measurement. Brings the knees up high to his chest.
Thank you. I just couldn't do it. But I didn't.
Turkish athletes. An upside chance of a medal, perhaps. I was disappointed that Ersu Sashma didn't make the pole vault final.
I'll tell you where I play for that.
Chances.
You know, but
Hit this box.
As we
Hit.
thought, 1673 for a season's best. Right on that with the Olympic.
Well, we'll do the first kilometre in 3:16, and Andreas Angren had had enough at that point. This Swede has gone to the front and he's strung it out single file. Makes it much easier watching. Always worry about those big packs and someone falling.
Right.
Let's see what it's done.
See ya. Got another of that, nice.
It's much more like it, and that's pretty fast.
See ya.
Andreas Angren.
Yeah, I'm going to obviously thinking not for nuts. This is getting a bit silly. I mean, 3:17 almost at 1 kilometre. That is really what must literally jump fellas like this. He's the European record holder, as you said, at 5,000 metres. European record holder now in the half marathon. Tremendously strong. He's got a superb 10,000 metre personal best. And he will want to make that count. He doesn't want fellas who are 10, 20, 30 seconds or more to be with him with 3 or 4 laps to go. They have faster finishes than him. He was very disappointed when he ran in the Stockholm Diamond League earlier in the summer, Almgren. He went there saying he was looking to run in the low 3:30s, and he ended up way down in 14th place at 3:36. So he hasn't raced a great deal since. He has obviously been sharpening his fitness, getting back to the form that he's happy with. But this suggests he's confident, Tanner, because he's certainly injected some significant pace there. And what a long spread there is from the front of the field to the back with these 25 starters.
2:48, not mucking around here in the second kilometre. And Almgren he's such an interesting character. Remember, he started his career as an 800 metre runner, but he really has moved up to an endurance runner to the point where he's not just in this sprint finish anymore, which is quite a bizarre turnaround from when he burst onto the scene maybe 4 or 5 years ago.
Jimmy Gressy moving up down the outside. They recognise the danger here. I think this is a long run for home from Almgren. There's no point otherwise in going to the front and doing this for a couple of laps.
Third round of the javelin now. Julian Weber with that 83-metre throw to start off, putting him in the lead. Here's Gailos of Latvia. They haven't won a medal since 2006, but it came in the javelin with Sigismund Semas. So holding this javelin high and then withdraws a throwing arm, pushes all the way through it, and blocks just before that line, comes to a stop, and the javelin well over 80 metres. They often come in with contenders in this event, as do all of the Baltic nations, and of course the Finns, but this is a serious medal home now. 82.97 into second place between Weber and Bedmer, the Pole, who threw 82.96, just 1 centimetre between the two of them at the moment. Brilliant attempt there, but up to others to respond. A few improvements in this first half of the competition.
Just nearing their way towards 3 kilometres. They'll hit that on the backstroke. That's some of the fastest laps we've seen so far. With a 65, a 63, a 63. You're right, Tim. This is a real hard race to hope. I don't know hesitate and ask anyone else to help him, or they could want to be the one to inflict pain on the rest. Another 63. And Albert looks locked in. Do you think he's comfortable at this pace? Kind of, he was bored of jogging. He was feeling awful for it.
Slightly extravagant bounces done. Look at his head bobbing away. That movement to the centre of gravity up and down is wasted energy. But what would I know? The guy holds European records at 5,000 and a half marathon. And he's really churning it on there. I mean, 64 minutes, 64 second pace is 13:20 for 5,000. That's 26:40. And despite not really early, the really slow first couple of kilometres, we could see quite a special time. Championship record 27:30 by Marty Vainio in Finland, who was around when I was racing. Unfortunately, back in the 80s, he got busted at the LA Olympics. Quite rightly so for taking steroids. So I don't like to mention his name particularly. Back in 1978 in Prague, he took gold in the European Championships, beating a certain Brendan Foster.
Give me a load of guys in this. Delighted at the job Malcolm is doing here. That's another 63. It was a 2:39 third kilometre. 8:45 through 3K, so that's not fast because the first kilometre was so slow. The likes of Foppin, Cripper, delighted that someone else is trying to run the stick out of Jimmy Gressier. It's been a deliberate move up. Ballo, the defending champion, the Swedish athlete, running in the white vest there. You can see the red cuff on his arm. He's just moving himself up by a position or two every lap.
I'm delighted that there's 12 in this lead pack, and both the British lads are in there. Scott Beattie and Dave Malarkey giving a great account of themselves at the moment.
Candy Diaz Hernandez in the triple jump, the Italian, no mark in the first round. One of the big contenders, but we were very excited about that jump. And
Quite a bit of Italian there, aren't they? Diaz Hernandez.
Portuguese athlete still out front. That's it, was that javelin final. First attempt that we saw has continued to be in the lead. So Diaz Hernandez, eyes firmly on the prize. Look at that determination and look at that distance. Well. This man means business. Bit of a shake of the head because he made it tricky for himself. But look at that, 18:50, just 3 centimetres shy of the championship record from 2 years ago. Incredible. That moves him up into fourth on the all-time list. Jonathan Edwards, Christian Taylor, and Diaz Fortune, the champion in Rome 2 years ago, the only athletes in front of him. Incredible.
Absolute emotion we're going to see from Diaz Hernandez in his whole career. He's so satisfied with that 18 metres, such an important barrier for these triple jumpers.
So he will go in Cuba. Yeah. He also lived in Italy for a year, so now
Still
he's
churning away fast laps in the front. This is the 4 kilometre split. Another 2:39. Metronomic value has made the jump.
He represented Cuba in 2017 World
To
Championship.
have a group of 5 just putting away. It was 4, but the Swiss athlete, the defending champion,
He defected
won
to
the
Italy in
Diamond League
2020.
recently. And suffered a bit of an injury after that. The Swiss athlete, a sore lower back. He's really had to shut it down. But he did make a committed move to ensure he didn't miss the break from this front group.
Well, I'm loving this, Hannah. There they are, the 5 to the left of picture, trying to close the gap with Dave Malarkey, the isolated athlete in 6th place there in the white vest for Great Britain. But Algren, Foppen, Cripper, Gressier and Labalu, they all recognise the danger. Gressier surging as soon as Labalu, as soon as Algren got to the front. So he's churning it out now, Algren. And this is quick, make no mistake, 2:39 for the last 2 kilometres. That is some 26:40 pace. And he looks so smooth, doesn't he? So powerful. Bouncing along, very comfortable indeed. Tough this from Malarkey in isolation there. He's either got to try and bridge that gap and get onto the back of this quintet in front, or else he's going to find himself.
So the standard Olympic rules, an athlete who has already represented one country must wait 3 years
hope that
Well,
these
no,
guys
that's
start looking at each other and slow down slightly. But I don't think that will happen until 8.5, 9k at this rate. Now the race is going. I think if Almgren gestured and asked someone to come
So
through,
many people are doing
maybe
damage.
maybe Cripper
That's
might
why
say,
you see
all
all
right, fair
these
enough, we need a race that suits us.
different
And I
names
don't
popping
think we'll
up, and
see
you
the
think,
pace slow
oh
down
yeah,
significantly
definitely.
from this point.
Well, the Scandinavians, a new power and distance running, of course, with Almgren and the Ingebrigtsens, who have dominated over 1,500 metres at the European Championships, and then the Jakob Ingebrigtsen 4 nights ago winning the 5,000 metres, or 6 nights ago winning the 5,000 in one of the greatest 5,000s I've seen for a long time. Against all the odds, it was the background story behind it with all his injuries to sprint to that 5,000 title. Maybe Almgren was inspired by that a little bit, although it's a very different sort of race, isn't it? Because I think Ingebrigtsen's winning time was 13.15, relatively slow by world standards, whereas Almgren was churning this out lap after lap and making them work for this. And Rabalu, as you can see there at the back of the group, maybe just beginning to struggle a little bit here, Hannah.
Well, now Jess Almgren does some training with Ingebrigtsen sometimes, so I kind of see that on social media, and I wonder if he knew the kick that Ingebrigtsen had up his sleeve. The rest of Europe were wondering what Ingebrigtsen was going to bring to Birmingham, and perhaps that played into Almgren's decision to only go in this 10,000. And it's Mike Foppen of the Netherlands that's the first perhaps to crack in this group of 5. I thought it might be Levallois. The Swiss athlete was looking around, looking behind. That's never a good sign, is it, for an athlete in an endurance race? But Foppen has slipped back to 5th place. And when he started losing the coattails of Almgren, Cripper won't ride round, Gressier won't ride round. And that was a kind of a scrappy move by the Italian, making things feel pretty good.
Well, I agree. Cripper looking very sprightly. As soon as Foppen falls there and Almgren got 2 or 3 metres on the next runner, he switched round and slotted in 2nd place. He won his title back in 2022, remember, in Munich. He won the half marathon 2 years ago in Rome, streets of his home capital, in front of the huge fan base that he's got back in Italy. He's a super racer, really consistent. He's also a great marathon runner. They say 2:05 he's run this year for the marathon. So he's got the strength, he's got the speed. Although I can't help but think that this Ethiopian-born Italian might have had his speed dented somewhat by the marathon training and the marathon racing that he's now getting into. He's obviously clearly wants to move up to the half marathon and marathon more firmly, but it's great to see him racing here.
And I love the fact that rivalry that's played out between Johan Cripper and Jimmy Gressier on the cross country, particularly. They've raced each other the whole way through the age groups, and I think Gressier will feel like he's having deja vu, staring at the back of Johan Cripper. Fair play to Mike Foppen here. After slipping back to last in this group, he's gritting his teeth and staying in contact. That's another 64-second lap. It was 14.05 through 5 kilometres. 41 to that point. So very metronomic from Almgren. I'm not seeing kind of a slowing down. I think there are a few more 64s and 63s, but I think I'm splitting hairs there. I think Almgren is feeling good with this pace.
Absolutely, Hannah. I do admire this so much. It takes a lot of mental strength and confidence, determination, as well as physical ability to go to the front of a super international field in the major championship and lead like this lap after lap. From early in the race, he thought to himself, right, how am I going to beat Gressier? He's got a fast finish. Cripper on his day can have a very fast finish, and he knows they're both very strong too. So he's got to maximise what he sees as his trump card, so to speak, and that is his strength over the half marathon distance and potential on the roads. And that 5,000 speed as well. It might not have the 1,500 metre speed.
I would say him at Red Sharpson's
both run down around 3:32, but he has got at least as much strength as them. That's 2:40 there, the 6th kilometre.
What a shame there, Mike Foppen stepping up. I hope he's not injured, but the group of 5 becomes 4. And Levallois got a decent sprint on him as well, Tim. You remember he burst onto the scene, winning the Zurich Diamond League before he was when he was still competing for the Athlete Refugee Team a good few years ago. He worked a long time to get his Swiss citizenship. He took refuge there after competing in Geneva and really wanted to represent them, saw that as the best place to become a world-class athlete and provide for his family. He was orphaned at the age of 9, Levallois provides for his 4 younger sisters, running he decided with his best way to support them. He's in 4th place here, the Swiss athlete. To me, maybe just working extra hard to stay in contact with these three. And there's a slight gap between Gressier and Cripper. Lavalier maybe sensing a bit of danger here as Gressier going through a bad patch.
Well, wouldn't that be interesting? And that's what Almgren has been looking for, is to test these fellas. And I think he's had a little glance up at the big screen there as he came down the home straight and seeing that Gressier is in the back and he's accelerated here. He's cranked it up another notch and got a bit of a gap there. Cripper trying to see if anybody's going to go through into that gap and drag him along. But Libalu looks the man most likely to want to go with Almgren, who has just got to stay controlled and calm. Don't let the adrenaline get to your head. Gressier tucked in on the back of the group. Actually, I think I said earlier that Gressier wasn't happy with the colour of his medal in the 5,000. He was 4th in that 5,000 the other night behind the Ingebrigtsen of Norway, Bremen of Germany, and the bronze of Etienne Dagino of France. So there is some frustration for Gressier in this one as he hangs in there in 4th place. And Almgren is pressing really hard now. The gap's appearing, Hannah, and this is exactly what he's been looking for.
Lavalier doing everything he can to close his gap. It's been a calm race for the defending champion. Almgren is going to be delighted when he looks up at the screen. It's the fastest time we've seen in the race so far, 63 low. So he has lifted his pace. It's not just a matter of these guys getting tired, it's a matter of Almgren pushing and pushing. Remember that European record he ran in Stockholm, the 12:44? He did that all on his own, didn't he? You had these other fast pace-made races across Europe, and it wasn't those that yielded the European record. It was Almgren on his own in Stockholm. So we should have expected something like this. He looks very natural leading this race. He's going to go through 7 kilometres there, 2:38. It's the fastest kilometre.
Yeah, and he will take real reinforcement from the fact that he's stretching away now, and even Libalu looks like he might have had enough. This from Almgren will be something he's thought about in training for weeks and weeks and weeks. You build up the determination, the race plan, you visualise the hard work you're going to put in over the last 6 or 8 laps, the focus that's needed. He bounces through the line there with 7 to go, and he's got about 20 metres on Libalu, and back in 3rd and 4th, as you can see, just left of picture. There's a battle for the bronze medal between Cripper and Gressier, and Hannah, wouldn't it be cruel if Jimmy Gressier got 4th again after 4th in the 5,000 on Monday night?
And then there'd be a certain kind of history to it, nostalgia if it happened at the hands of Cripper as well, someone that he's raced through his whole career. And Almgren's last lap, 62 seconds. It's getting faster, and he's just looking for the running. And I don't know, it happens every now and again as an athlete in your career. You just hit this purple patch and you get into a race like this and you go, I just feel better and better. You know, nothing's touching the sides here. And Almgren undertaking all these athletes, that's going to help him as well. So he swings into the home straight. It'll be 6 to go this time for Almgren. So just over 2 kilometres, 2.5 kilometres for the Swede, the European record holder over 5,000. And this is the first kind of hard display of running we've seen in the endurance races and the long distance races here in Birmingham, and the crowd are getting a real spectacle.
And isn't it good to see? Look at that gap over the last couple of laps. It's gone from 10 metres to about 50 metres. Andreas Almgren storming away, surely towards goal now. Looks fantastic.
Idiots who follow.
He was 5,000 metres in Paris with a stretch fracture in his shin. Well, he's made up for that with the calibre of this run and various other performances over this last couple of years. He finished 4th in Munich back in 2022, Almgren, so he knows all about the frustrations of just failing to get onto the...
Tuesday at 9 on Quest.
In fact, he took off, of course, after in the 3rd day, which was the 2:39. That's way below 13:20 pace. I mean, I want to whisper it at this stage. He's got 5 laps to go as he goes through 8K, but he might get the championship record.
That was phenomenal, 2:34 from Almgren. And Tim, you've got more experience in these distances in the 5,000.
Look at this 2 bar here.
At what point is he going too fast? Because he's catching here with a Pelton and O'Leary. That's 6th place at the front of that group. There's only 5 men here in the space of the next 200, maybe 250 metres.
Well, is that 5 fellas? They all
might have lapped everybody except 5 athletes or 4 athletes. Is he going too fast? Is he going to come unstuck?
He's not going too fast. I mean, he's covered the last 4 laps in 4:08. And this is astonishing. Look at this, blitzing around this pack. They can't move out of his way. They don't know he's coming through. He's going to lap the vast majority of his field now. He keeps looking up at the big screen. He's into the home straight now, and he's got 2 massive screens up in front of him above the first bend, and he can check there on the damage that's going on. Although these athletes might confuse him a little bit, but 4 laps to go, about 23:02 there. Yeah,
Looks like he's going to run away from these camera as well.
Marty Vinio's championship record is 27:30.
Yeah, that's all. Fucking what? There's only 3 blocks. Oh, yeah, that.
Maybe that championship record going as well.
It looks
With a
tight
triple
now.
in the penultimate day of the European Championship.
Yes, the
There's a few men here
yeah.
trying to go with
Rather
Amber,
skip
Magnus,
it
Chukmela, Norway kind of spotted him coming round it. And this group, they've been waiting for someone to make a push. And it's kind of funny, isn't it?
That's
that they're taking
definitely
the leader up here and saying, all right, if there's a guy moving really quickly,
He's
maybe
in
he
second,
quickly
yeah.
into a top 8 position here in the European race. You don't always want them to help Amber instead. It's so nice.
These 2 are in turn
turn
position,
and there's a battle going on between Cripper and Gressier. You saw one shot where they were having a small conversation, the Italian and the French athlete, just trying to make sure they didn't open the door up for another person to join the group. I think they were back in with a lap runner there, rather than someone that's on the same lap with it, unless an athlete has lost their timing chip. They're not appearing on our system.
They're about 120 metres behind Lombardo. He looks safe enough for the silver medal. He goes through the line now with 3 laps to run. Almgren into the back straight. And he seems to have settled down a little bit. I don't know if going past that pack, he was not setting. He was into a little rhythm of 61 and 62 second laps. He's just run a 62 and a half with 22nd lap.
He was still up this fella there twice.
Having that pack accelerate and hang on to your coattails like that, it makes you wonder how hard some of those lads were working.
And this is what I mean.
Now
back up to a 2:42. I just wonder if hitting the 2:30s or going below 2:35 for the 8th kilometre was too much for Andreas Amger, and I think he could still well be on for that championship record. And here he is, taking these athletes with him.
Sorry about 2 laps left.
The closest athlete trying to get with him, and Goyant as well. They're back in for top 8 in Europe, these men. That'll matter to them. This is a 65 lap for Andreas Amger, and that's the slowest we've seen since the 2nd kilometre.
Because that's how he fucked up when they were all in the big group.
Changed his rhythm a little bit, upset his mental
When it
state.
started at
Coming past
start.
that massive pack. I mean, how many in there? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 13 in that pack who are all jogging along, watching each other, and it seems slightly strange to me and a bit sad that as soon as somebody comes past them with a bit more speed, they find the energy to accelerate and slot in behind him. Why weren't they giving everything before he came past them? He's got 600 metres to run there, Andreas Alpen. He's destroyed the best in Europe. Lombardo is fully 100, 110 metres behind. And Clipper and Gressier only going through the line now. He's about 270 metres in front of them. Is Andreas Alpen, and that European record, a championship record, I should say, 27:30 is very much on.
And that is amazing to be near that championship record, considering an opening lap of 83 seconds, an opening kilometre of 3:16. But this time, it'll be the one.
Look about all them felt. Fucking last lap.
Should have loved
A fast finish here. Andreas Amber is going to give it everything in this last.
He said they're going to try and overtake him and check him out.
Championship record was set back in 1978. He's still got a championship company here. Surely they're going to but these are 250 metres left to go. They've got 650.
Legit
It's been a
spot
brave
up.
run from the Manu, the defending champion.
Been set Adam back
Position. Gressier and Cripper battle on for the bronze. They've got 450 metres to go. But Andreas Amber, 150 metres to go. One last bend before he swings into the home straight. The Swede has put on a masterclass here. He's going to become the first ever man from Sweden to win this 10,000. The last one of that was running out back in 1978 when he set that championship record.
What's the old stuff?
It's going to be a brilliant goal here at the European Championships, and he's going to break that championship record. What a run from Andreas Amber. London. He runs across the field. He's
That's a
left
record
them
breaker
in his
for
right ahead. The value
Yeah.
of Switzerland, the hard-fought silver. He's going around about 40 metres to go. He makes the crowd. Riles them up between part of the
He's
wonderful
looking
racing.
in there. What, bronze?
And in the background, Jimmy Gressier
I
has
bet they're doing that, right?
his iconic sprint finish. Cripper is still going there. The Italian has not given up.
Oh, don't overtake him.
Gressier's got to over here.
Nah, it's not going to catch him.
Gressier looks over his shoulder once again to see Elaine Cripper right
Not
there.
gonna
These
catch him.
two have battled so many races. But it is going to be another podium
Don't
finish.
stop.
A brilliant
Gamble
celebration. It's not
playing
gold, but he's celebrating like it is. And Elaine Cripper will go, oh, is that the last time I'm going to face my great rival, Jimmy Gressier?
Indeed.
Guillaume of France coming over the
Kick me
line.
from the going distance.
Well, that big pack have picked up over the last 6 or 8 laps. Thanks to Aaron, but they need to shake his hand and say thanks. But 27.23 brings the championship record of Marty Barney up by over 7 seconds, almost 8 seconds. A magnificent run. And a gold medal, a career-defining gold medal.
Course record.
27.23.
He's got course record.
Ran his last 5,000.
Thingy record.
About
You know,
13.18.
competition.
13.05 and 13.18.
Nearly faster than Jakob Ingebrigtsen won the 5,000 in run 13.50. So
Academic, because obviously that was a second
but kind of
race.
fun. Kind
Yeah,
of fun.
I know. No, 13.18 is spectacular for a second half of a 5,000, whatever the first half was.
Yeah,
Let's
that's
not
great.
forget
Written
that he
block.
kicked in
I
up to just 2k. So the first 2k was a
wonder how many
pace.
disappeared
They
on
just
this
started
after
banging
these
them out,
games.
239 to
That
240,
was one,
30,
you know, of the
20,
week when it
26,
tested
40.
down, he's
They're
not good.
clearly with many more seconds.
There was a
in the
few
back
athletes
there for,
never showed up that much.
Andreas Almgren, but he didn't need it. He gets the championship record, he gets the gold medal. He's on top of Europe. That is
Yeah, then
achievement.
that was
I'm glad for Gressier he gets the bronze there. He's a grafter. I like the fact he does cross country. He doesn't hold back. He enjoys racing. He loves racing in those French colours.
Gressier, that's actually his first European Championship track medal. He's become world champion without
because
that
it happens all the time now.
tasted the podium here at the European level. And Andreas Almgren, fourth at 4.
Yeah, but if they're athletes, like, and they'll go straight to embassy and say they want asylum, and because they're athletes,
European Championships either.
they'll get moved to the
Dominic
top
the
of the list.
Value, such an inspirational figure. I mentioned a bit of his backstory.
And then
Authored at 9,
Few
moved to
months'
South
time, you'll
Sudan
see him
to
running
Kenya,
for Great
started
Britain.
running for the athlete refugee team.
I don't know what that is.
Refuge in Switzerland. And he was picked up by one of the local coaches there. And it helped him develop into a world-class athlete.
That win crowns a fabulously consistent season from Andreas Almgren, chatting the way down to the bronze medalist Jimmy Gressier. There's one dip, funnily enough, and ironically, just checking his racing card for this season, was in the Stockholm Diamond League. Other than that, he's had a really consistent season. I mean, he was third in the Shaoxing Diamond League right at the beginning of the summer in 7:26. That was a crazy race. I think 13 guys were below 7:30 in that one.
Experience athletics with Le Gruyere AOP.
These commentators don't they get told when it's going to go to an advert? Well, they're explaining something and it just won't advert.
Canary Islands gave me the perfect setup for the greatest sporting event. Everything about this place pushes me to be a fan.
All we need is right here. This is where we sharpen every detail and trace our level.
As more than training, it's about embracing every moment and being alive.
It's my second home, a home away from home.
The connection we feel with these islands pushes us to go beyond our limits.
Canary Islands always bring out the best in me.
This is where the road to our next gold medal begins.
And now, it's time to chase the next level.
Not everyone can win. The ones who do, they're different. Precision, checkmate. Calm. Control.
How do you make these films?
Pure instinct.
Playing on video games.
This is what winning is made of. The Esports World Cup.
I think that's already out, is it not? I think NL is out now. Northern Lands.
The final grand tour of the season has arrived, where the world's best riders face more than each other. They face nature itself. Through relentless climbs, punishing heat, and unforgiving roads, only those that dig the deepest
Jersey, what's the triumph at the top?
will reach the pinnacle.
It's the final showdown.
Blood Welter 2026, live on TNT Sports.
Experience athletics with the Gruyere AOP.
10,000 to happen as well. So, look, at the likes of Mahuchik passing and not even coming in yet. It's going to be a long time for her.
Topic then. She too having a little bit of trouble at 1 m88. This is very unlike her. She played 183 first time. Maybe the wind just giving these athletes a bit of trouble. There's wind in their face. She's keeping her tights on though. This should be simple for her. Oh, but it's not. Dear, oh dear, oh dear. Got that back fairly heavily taped. Maybe carried back from Feza down. Dragutin Topic, former European champion. Running into a win there. I thought she took off a long way from the bar there, too far. She came down on the bar as she crossed the line of the bar.
Yeah, if you fail 3 times on a night, that's your good.
So just couldn't get to grips with the conditions here tonight. Maybe that back injury a problem.
Men's javelin final is going to have to have contended with those men whizzing around in the 10,000 as well. As Thomas Roland, who nearly made the final. Made it 3 gems in the fun, but the ones that are here, Toom and Weber going well at the moment. Toom down into 4th place. But that's massive for Nick Toom. His lifetime best, 83.49. He set that to qualify for this final.
Nobody else knows it.
What a wonder. Weber is on 83.71. 83.76. Still a champion in the league, but not the one you'd expect. Nick Toom having a very, very good week here in Birmingham. Thomas Roland kind of impressed by this all time. There's the pressure on Weber. He's had the lead since round 1. There he is.
Typically B was 80.74 before this year. More than 3 meters improvement. What can Gauguin do? Wow. Real pressure, the Frenchman. He said it's not been the best championships for France so far. So what can he do? Exercise a little bit of caution there. Crucially, does he get the white flag? Of course, we get a big headline in this final so far. 18 meters 15 for Andy Diaz Hernandez. 4th all time. Gauguin. He does get the white flag here. So all important. So can he get into the top 8? Yes, he can. 16.55. 17.37 needed for a medal at the moment. We're on course for another Italian double podium. Double in 3rd. Charlo 2nd, 7.76. But how can you respond to Diaz Hernandez in 50?
Until then, next to go at 1 m92. In the jumping order. That's back. Stays up. She's delighted. First time glimpses of white, and now we're getting into more serious territory. Big shot to lose Topic at 188. She was one I had There'd be an outside chance of a medal, but I'm sure that injury must have been bugging her. Her father didn't seem to be overly disappointed. Maybe he knew something. But Christina wants to coach there. She's certainly not holding back, is she? That's a brilliant reaction from Nikita Koshilgin.
Brilliant baby here, trying to respond to what his compatriot has done, going 5 centimetres further than his opening round effort. We're watching on. We know that Thomas Roller in the stands. He was so close to qualifying. And yet, still a German 1-2 here. Too many improvements of late. Only going until we saw in the third round among the top 8. Nick 2 improvements in round 4, but it's round 5. Nick took big personal best, 83.76. However, unable to go any further in terms of distance. Look at these celebrations.
Passion from the Swedish fans, from Andreas Almgrens fans. I think they'll be pretty close friends and family. There we go, another personalised t-shirt. Quite like that one. It's like one of your retro football shirts, Alex. Very well.
Oh, generally, didn't it? The gallery wears off will be really tired.
To get underway here in Alexander Stadium, the men's 1500 metres, 12 athletes out there, 3 of them are Brits. The pre-race favourite for many is Jake Whiteman, the world champion back in 2022 in Eugene, who's been in fabulous form this year. But Isaac Nada is the reigning world champion. He shocked many with his fast finish, the Portuguese, in Tokyo last year. Let's take a look at this field. Pilstorp of Sweden is a 3:30 performance. Pilstorp, world champion finalist last year, and the Oscar fastest ever at 1500 with 3:30 a couple of years back. There's Farken. Robert Farken, the Germans, getting stronger in the middle of long distances, 6th of the world championships last year. Jake Whiteman. Chatting to his Daniel earlier on, he said Jake believes he can win this if he gets his sprint right. Said he needs to kick going into the last 200 metres. Tactics will be critical in this one. Alesi of Italy, 13th in the European Championship. Italy has national record on the French. He's a great racer, although his form of late has been very mixed. Ludovic, bit of an unknown quantity in some respects. He's a new ground. Ludovic, the 26-year-old Ludovic, twice UK champion. He's been superb domestically at 3:48 at the London Mile a month ago. There is Narvin Nordas, world championship bronze medalist in Budapest back in 2023. Super fast finisher. Rorne, another French going here. Twice the French champion at 1500 metres. Stefan Nielsen, 9th in the Olympic Games with massive personal best in his semi-final and in the final in Paris. He leapt up through the grades. And there is Isaac Nada. He could be the biggest danger to Jake Whiteman. Only 12th in the Oslo Mile a couple of months back, but he had just come back from altitude, and that can mess up your blood as it's adjusting back to sea level. And neither a very fast finisher, sharpened up with a win at the Portuguese 800 metre championships about 3 weeks ago. And Jake Hayward on the inside, there's the camera there from Wales. He's been in fabulous form too. He could be a danger. I wonder if this will go on pretty quickly, if somebody will take it on, if it will be slow.
We're on about they all run past him.
Hayward on the inside. It's always difficult though when you're drawn on the inside because you have to go fairly fast or else just accept that you're going to be boxed in, and we're going off fairly fast means you end up in the lead, just like he has now. Hillstrop right at the back of the field, but they are punching. It's not particularly quick, nor that's moving around the outside. Looking very comfortable, and he's deciding he might as well make this a little bit quicker, although he doesn't come right to the front, does he? He keeps glancing across. He wants to sit on the shoulder of the leader, and actually he's ended up in the lead as they go through 300 metres. And it's really tasty, about 43.5 there at 300.
Well, looks like Nordos wants to keep this title in Norwegian hands. The Ingebrigtsen brothers incredibly winning 5 out of the last 6 editions of this title. British athletes on home soil in that period. There, of course, won 2 world titles, but not since 1986 Steve Brown had taken this title. And Jake Hayward, that long return from injury for him, had to be so patient. But now this could be his moment just to sit in behind and wait to strike. But we know what Robert Farken's finish is like. And athletes bunched together at the moment with Jake Whiteman there in the middle of the pack.
Well, 57.9 for the first 400 is really honest. I'm glad he's kept it reasonably quick here. Nordash, Jake Hayward in second place has looked magnificent in recent weeks. 3:46 in the mile at London, one of the quickest ever, faster than Erect and Co ever ran. back in the 80s. Parking on the outside there in the orange of Germany. And they see on the outside too, they're Thrintley coming through as they go through 700 metres. It's very quick indeed. Jake Haywood just handling himself there in the middle. He was a bit concerned about traffic, is what his father said to me, and he's having to handle a lot of traffic there in what, about 7th place, right in the middle of the pack. Nada, interestingly, is shadowing Jake Whiteman in the red vest of Portugal.
That's surely one of the danger men. Just wonder what he can produce if he's on the outside with 200 to go, just like he was at the World Championships. Of course, that killer finish against Jake Whiteman. But a shoulder guarding just there, and you can see that it's affected Arno Ludovic. He just dropped a couple of steps back there. Nara is right with him.
Well, Norda's doing everything right at the moment. In second place, they come down the home straight as Mornay in front. Whiteman is off the curve now and not past at the moment. Haywood running really well there as they come towards the bell this time. They're all
Watching McMahon
really honest for the last couple of laps here. And Jake Whiteman moves on to the shoulder of his teammate Jake Haywood. The two Jakes there in second and third, and Haywood now hits the front. Jake Whiteman moves from with him. Coming from 1200 metres.
Watching McMahon
57 second third lap, 255 with 1200. And Jake Haywood left for Wales at through 200 metres to go. We're running for Nielsen on the inside as Jake Whiteman holds, shadows his compatriot. And this is where we were told Whiteman would go with the 170 to go. Remember that Super 1000 if you're the back. And Jake Whiteman now kicks hard to go past his compatriot. Taps in third place there for France.
Oh, he's dropped out.
Oh, Max, come on,
He's going in front though. That looks like he was going to go in first three.
Nielsen's going to take it. Jake Haywood trying desperately to
Oh,
hold
Max,
the middle.
Yeah.
Second. And the Irishman takes the bronze
I
cross-country
went the wrong side.
extraordinary running, 53.8 the final lap. Stefan
So he can
Nielsen,
win,
Olympic finalist 2 years ago, he's only 23.
So like that, that's what we they didn't even mention him at the start, did they?
Standards of these fellas, but look at that finishing car. Nielsen
They went too early.
Nielsen the silver, Prosper in the third, and the Brits, disappointing of the men in the audience, the 4th, 5th, and 6th. And I'll tell you what, championship racing is such a hard thing to get your head and body around, isn't it? And you know this all so well as a 1500 World Championship medalist. You just cannot predict what others are going to do. You can control what you do, you can't control what the rest do. And I thought Jake Whiteman did everything right there, but he did have problems after that Monaco 1000 a month or so back. He missed training for 10 days or so, and I think maybe that is beginning to show. He's. I don't want to make excuses in his behalf because that's a brilliant run
You
for
are
Stefan
making
Nielsen,
excuses,
but that's not the Jake Whiteman who we saw a few weeks back.
I bet he
What
is.
happened there for me was Jake Haywood and Jake Whiteman getting potentially overexcited in that last 300 and maybe not gauging their effort. And Jake Whiteman has made tremendous moves in his career in that last 200. But if you've overcooked it to respond to your teammate that you feel competitive against, and you don't run your own race, the pair of them, and then you can include Anthony Martin in that as well. He made a big move to cover these two. They were left wanting in the last 50. And I really put Nielsen down on my card here because before coming into this race, if no one's heard of him, Stefan Nielsen, he's got fantastic range. He has gone 329. He was the Dutch record holder before Niels Laros was. He's from the same training group. He's a fantastic athlete. And I was going to say he made a great move down the back straight. He got neutralised by Absa. But Nielsen, that's the strength from his steeplechase, from his 5K. And he's torn down the home straight. Sometimes when you get boxed in and unleashed, it helps you ping off the front of the pack. But Pilstrom, a fantastic silver for Sweden.
Should have this
an
one
inspired
once
bronze Friday. The race 3:35. When it's slow, you never know what's going to happen.
Yeah, the Dutchman for the Netherlands coming home.
No, silver for Sweden.
And Slikos, 1950 in Brussels, the last time a Dutchman won the
Last
European
circle in my
Championship.
daily
Slikos taking
Like,
gold ahead of the
goodness.
Frenchman group. Bill Nackman,
When I
taking
maybe
points
love
on
what
that day, but no medal for the Brits here in the 1500
I don't
metres
know.
or in the 800 metres on the men's side. Bit disappointed with that when British medalists running is so strong. There is a brilliant Dutch goal for Stefan Nielsen. He took them apart, didn't they, over the last 50. Feels to have a super silver there for Sweden. Goodness me. And Andrew Cosgren, an unexpected bronze there for the Irish. They are having a heck of a week, punching above their weight.
I don't do as much damage as I would like to do.
In athletics, every metre counts, whether you're running out on the track or whether you're throwing it in the field, every attempt counts. And the athletes know that, how many times an athlete's taking their eye off the ball for only to change in the final part of the competition.
So Jakob van Lech, 2 years ago, so brilliant, right at the end of the competition to get that goal.
Ooh.
It's close to 85 here, but you can see that golden line of Nick 2 producing a personal best in the final, 83.76. Just 5 centimetres ahead of Julian Weber. We're going to see this brilliant drone shot once again.
Stop using it.
Doesn't it, that shot?
Yeah, well, anyone who
Just
doesn't
found
like
out
roller
then.
coasters probably doesn't like it either. But innovation for you. So Van Lech, 82.88, just produced his best at the end, but real depth in this competition with 5 over 82.
Grahams can hardly watch the Latvian in the bronze medal position. He's got 1 centimetre ahead. David Wegner. Nick 2 can barely watch either. Wegner, okay, 82.96. That came in the second round for the Polish athlete. He's at the top of the runway, just looking at still in third place. Cone is still out, or the barrier is still out for Wegner, saying please don't break wide yet. Third in qualification, Wegner, 82.40. Past that already with 82.96. But one more throw to affect the medalists. He's 1 centimetre
You go
shy
sleep with his back.
of the bronze medalist.
It's today, last night then.
Moment for David Wagner. The clock started.
That's what we're doing radio as well.
Taking a few moments to compose himself. One last throw for him here in this European final. To improve from fourth, he chucks himself to the ground. He hurls a javelin, and it falls short. But David Wagner will be agonisingly close to a medal, but easily the best performance of his career so far. Fourth at the European Senior Championships. To be ninth at the last 2 World Championships. There's a real step up for the pole. 81.19 in the end. That means our medalists are decided. They've all got one last chance to reshuffle themselves.
Yeah, Wegner produced his 4th best ever competition distance in over 83 metres 3 times, including in Tokyo in qualification. It's a little bit unlucky. You can see the hair standing up on the arms of Julian Weber. One last chance for him. And it's hard sometimes when you set that distance initially, you can afford to relax, but you have to try and find another gear for the final round. So, Galen's of Latvia, we know he secured their first medal since Ice won this title a decade ago with gold. He couldn't, could he? He draws that throwing arm. Stops to look on the line. Down he goes. So where is this javelin going? Short once again. Played. Gave it everything. So let's wait and see. 82.97 already. 80 metres 33. And don't forget,
So got in all the golf nights when he always sat down.
less than a metre. What a brilliant competition. Here's Julian Weber then. One final athlete who can change the order.
It's going to be a 1-2 for Germany, like it was in the decathlon with Leon Neugebauer and Nicholas Cowell. Look at this delight here for McGill. He looked so nervous, just waiting and waiting. I wonder if he had anything, if he needed to respond from a challenge from one of the other athletes. Doesn't matter, he gets the bronze. The cone is being removed here for Julian Weber, the champion in 2022. Defending champion watches on. Weber holds the record for the smallest winning margin ever.
Yeah, I
In
think
Munich, 4 years ago, 38 centimetres. He's currently
So many of these dungeon ones.
off at the
Yeah,
goal.
we're going to go over there.
So 87.04 this season, Weber. He's had loads of injuries though. Loads of disruptions this season. He looked like he found his ball just in time. One last gasp for Julian Weber. Cheers!
That's a big hit.
He hits his line.
That's miles past the goal. Miles past. That's a budget.
He breaks the championship record. Steve Martin.
Keep going. He's in silver. He won in silver. Now he'll move up into gold. What?
What a name for Weber. For so many years, when people doubted whether this guy could be a championship performer.
On the block.
So many
Well,
balls,
court,
so
and
many
get
fits.
silver. He could go
And then
for
came
silver.
that gold in
He'll have one
Munich.
more throw. Yeah.
And now, for the moment,
Oh, yeah,
with
look
one
at
throw
this.
left at the competition, Julian Weber has done what I was hoping would happen this evening.
Not
They
gonna beat
switched
that.
the champion to the other side of the stadium. We've got a lovely following wind.
It's been early
And Weber
90, that, isn't it?
has gone from the man that falters slightly under pressure to the man that delivers.
95 car, is it?
That is brilliant, brilliant from Weber. I'm so happy to see it throw over 90 metres. I thought it could only happen from Weber or Vadlech. There is still one throw left to go here.
Well, that is his best ever throw at a major championships and his third over 90 metres in his career. Missouri and Diamond beating the others. Interesting, Nick Took was about to go and then pulled out of that. Is that it? Oh, goodness me. Well, Weber,
Is that the
great
ball his leg on? He
champion,
just don't
and of
think he
course,
can
10
do it.
years more experience than Nick Took, the 21-year-old, who will take great heart from this competition, even if it will take
He
so
must have
long
had
to
an
sink in
anxiety, is
how
that?
close he was to the gold medal. And what a great moment of sportsmanship, as we've said a number of times during these championships. A German 1-2 finish, a massive personal best, given his improvement this year by more than 3 metres. But Julian Weber was so similar to what Vadlech did, of course, 2 years ago as well. Able to reclaim that title. Delight as well for Latvia with their first medal in a decade.
He looked more happy than them to one go.
They got a silver at the World Championships as well last year.
I mentioned he holds the record for the smallest margin of victory, that 38 centimetres. He now holds the record for the largest margin of victory as well. 2 titles in very different ways. He was given a foul in the end for this throw. I wonder if he flung his arms over the line with it. He looked like he was just indicating he was getting a bit of cramp. Steve Buckley did have the record for the largest margin of victory at 4 metres, but now Weber has it at nearly 7 metres. Short of 7 metres. That was perfect. But you have these.
Experience Athletics with Le Gruyere AOP.
Yeah, well, this could go on.
Jag spent a lot of money for their advertisements.
Not everyone can win. The ones who do, they're different. Precision, checkmate. Calm. Control. Creativity. Killer instinct. This is what winning is made of. The Esports World Cup. The most prestigious poker event in the
Told you
world.
she won't be
$10 million to the winner.
impressed with the camera.
One stage.
Let's ask him.
Every hand matters. Every decision changes everything. Champions
Oh, she
rise.
got another dog. No, she's after him. Did another one.
World Series of Poker 2026.
Because she had Archer and she had that one that's like an hyena. That grey one, eh?
quite fancy being Harry Potter, just so I can do that game. You know, they fly around on the broom thing.
Yeah.
It's called Quidditch. It's like the Harry Potter equivalent of paddle. So we can just do
You're
Quidditch.
just a fan of paddle.
Well, I've been working
I
Quidditch.
can tell.
Experience Athletics with Le Gruyere AOP.
Opening height, yeah. Consummate ease there for Mahuchuk. So her only jump so far. Everybody else came in at least 1 meter 83. Tell you that quite a few athletes have already dipped out at 188. 4 athletes going out, another 6 athletes going out with 188. Just looking there, as you can see, several athletes struggling. It's a massive field. It's taken such a long time to get through each round. They're going to be up there for ages yet, I think.
The chili, what? You should imagine that.
So, second attempt at 192 for the pole. She was fine at 188. That was first time, and she gets over that one. Just gets a little tickle. World silver medalist last year. And Mahuchuk, uncharacteristically, had to share the bronze medal. And after the Olympic gold back in 2024. I love these celebrations from friends, family, partners in the crowd.
It's marvellous how they can train themselves, don't they?
Vukovic, second attempt at
They're about
192.
6'2", 6'3".
Fourth place at the moment. Did a few years
Yeah,
ago.
that's all she is.
Nicely done
Wow.
for Vukovic. Mentioned that new lifetime best of 198. She's actually done that twice this season. So she's backed it up. It wasn't a one-off. And as so often with these high jumpers, when they do clear something, half of the frustration is, why didn't I do it last time? Why have I wasted an attempt? Why have I accrued a foul? That's going to be costly, but it's a third at the moment for Vukovic.
Very experienced. She's 34 years old. She's the oldest in this final, former world junior champion. Now,
Here we are this time.
Kulachenko, the second of the Ukrainians. Yes, that's right. And as you say, Hannah, why did I fail that twice? Why whether it's so easy with consummate ease at the third time of asking? She had a hiccup at 188 too.
A few times.
So that's a third time of asking. So quite a few athletes finding this height very, very hard to cope with. 4 going out of 183, I said, and several out of 188. Kulachenko next to
Now
go.
we've got to sleeping in
Legends transfer from Russia at 24. And it's only cleared
What's wake me up?
a 191 this season, the season's best in
Mermaid.
qualifying. No. Out she goes. Kulachenko. Just one of those really struggling. What is well, it would have been a season's best for her.
On the jumping spree.
The big finalist came 7th equal in Paris 2024, 9th in the World Championships last year, and actually, because she's jumping for Cyprus, 5th in the Commonwealth Games a couple of weeks back. So Julian Weber has his gold.
He's got his wrong. He's got
Lions. The German one too. You can see relay runners preparing in the background, of course. Exciting conclusion tonight, both men's and women's 4x100 meters. There is the podium. Zhongzhou at 195, first attempt. Oh, that's nice. Yeah, she's delighted with that, and so she should be the pole. That's a lovely clearance. And that's important, the first time clearance for her. 195, her season's best is only 170 and 197. She is the World Championship silver medalist from last year. She's 5'11". Most of these high jumpers are tall. She's an Allegiance transferee from Belarus. Lived in Poland since 2022. Was granted Polish citizenship back in March 2024. She's going well. That, I think, is Mahuchuk wrapped up from the cold here. It is quite chilly now in the stadium. Any spectators who didn't bring something to put over a t-shirt will be feeling it.
We see Hansel up next. She can hold on to a medal position here. I think it raised quite a few years of frustration for Hansel.
You'll feel it when you go out.
She has been consistent, but it's quite deliver that on the bigger stages when it's mattered most. The Germans have been fantastic this week. One failure here for Hansel to Kate. Logic looking on that. So impressive the way the Polish woman mastered those conditions in Tokyo, the pouring rain. She was the one that handled it the best. She cleared.
Okay, yes, he is.
When I was her and Nick Loloslavos were the only women to kind of improve after the rain delay. Sat by the side of the track for some 15 or 20 minutes, and Jojic will need all of that mental fortitude here in Birmingham as well.
4 athletes went out at 183, 6 athletes at 192. That really did bring it down to smaller numbers. Vukovic in 4th place with a second time clearance at 192. That shunts her behind Hansel in 3rd, who cleared 192 previous height first time. But if she clears this, it would put her up into 2nd place, maybe momentarily, because Mahuchik hasn't tried it yet. 195. Oh no.
Well, he's in.
That was
You
very
should heal.
tight indeed. Just skims it there with her backside. The height is there, there's no doubt about it. In fact, I think she was coming down on top
If
of the
he
bar.
could need
The
me.
height might have been slightly in front
I
of the bar.
don't
She
think
really
so.
jumping
Maybe
beautifully.
on second boss.
Is Vukovic. Vukovic. Only 7th in the London Diamond League.
Oh yeah, and you might get an EIR or EIR. If you get the EIR, please may I have it.
Who's not had the best of seasons. Now, here's Mahuchik. Only her 2nd jump of the evening. Keeping herself super warm with all
That's
the
a bit
first layers of that sleeping bag.
Ow.
195, first
I
attempt.
just when you start, you don't actually think when you
How
start.
unlike her. Zobzin, the only athlete that's gone clear first time at this height of the 5 left
Not
in.
exactly going over fucking 6
No,
foot
that
high.
was-
That's
that's
pretty, and
finished.
that means that to win, Mahuchik and the others have got to go at least clear of the next height, 197.
2 4x100 finals coming up. We saw qualification earlier on today. We're going to have the men go first, and then the women. Rome 2 years ago, the title went to Italy, Netherlands in 2nd, then Great Britain and Northern Ireland in 3rd. The Brits qualified fastest this morning. They look brilliant,
Then
but
you just
remember,
turn
it was a
round.
dinner for them
That's
in
just
Tokyo at the World Championships
a
and
little
the
bit
World
of that.
Relays.
Quiet bit.
To buck that trend here.
Belgium,
No, I am not. No, I am not. Is he still in? Don't go up. Wait for SFM.
This morning, he was 8th in the 100 metres. Italy go with Mac to Desailly, who was 3rd in the 200 metres. He's a new addition from the heats this morning. Pata will go in lane 2. Ceccarelli was brilliant anchoring this morning. Give them that job again.
See how many dropped back this time.
Vicky of Netherlands will lead off.
I can't do
Very
it.
late, 6.
And Elvis Prefer, who was 4th individually in the 100 metres. The British quartet unchanged for this morning in order and the personal.
Oh, good thing I hit when the boss does this.
The 100 will hand over to sub-10 man Louis Hinchliffe. Susanna Hughes, the silver medalist in the 200 metres, will run a brilliant bend, I'm sure. And Ronald Glade, the individual champion over 100 metres, set to anchor.
All this is about not dropping back, isn't it?
France will lead
It can
us
be-
to
it can be as fast as the flash, but if you drop the bat,
Practice answer, Petra to anchor. Greece have gone with the
No. No.
same quartet as they had this morning. Panagio Garagadis.
No, why'd you transfer it to me?
The Poulos will be their anchor runner. Ireland qualified for this race on time. There's so many Irish here in Birmingham.
well, watching it when I don't know whether it was this morning or last yesterday afternoon, when they were doing heats.
Around the bend. And Israel
Don't
Alton is going to anchor.
Can't be done. Winning it. One of the, that big Germany, then, oh, they were in it. The one at teams.
athlete to the border.
Didn't do swap overnight, and
To Zach
they ended up with both of them together.
Kopech will
And one of
anchor
them went back was still on the thing.
in the 100 metres
And they were
individually.
both like
Good final
over
leg
crack
this
when
morning.
there's a yellow line in the way.
So one of the most stressful
We were both over that. and we were-
technical events
both
in
just turned
athletics.
around,
The
I looked at
margins
each other
are
and
tiny for these guys.
Well, we both sort
How
of-
fast can you get the baton round? One lap of the track. 4 athletes in each team, 3 changeovers. It's Poland on the inside in 2, Ireland in 3, Greece go in 4, Germany in 5, Britain, the host nation, go in lane 6, the Netherlands in 7, Italy, the defending champions in lane 8, and Belgium out in lane 9.
I did not just click 0. No. Good.
God, it's a long time.
That's it, yeah.
Athletics, so often an individual sport, every now and again we come together and make a team. And these men are running for their nations and for the chance at a European title. First changeover, it's been a stretch for the Brits, but they're moving well. Look at the Italians, they're up on the Belgians on the outer lanes.
That was in little chops.
Are we going around the top end?
Oh, that's great,
From Darnell Hughes, but Hughes is so good.
Oh,
On the bend, the Dutch are chasing hard.
Yeah, it's on the meters.
The silver medal.
Good, Liam. You won. He's our man in front. Oh, the pistol.
Not me.
45. What a run from the Mark Blade. Germany have been fantastic in the last few years. The European leads coming into this after a 3rd place at the World Relay. At the moment being given second. This is an official result now.
Oh, yeah, that's an 100 metre
Where,
run.
oh where did the
I
Belgians come
can't
from?
carry this.
They're the 4x4 guys. What are they doing here for bronze medal in the 4x1?
You're kidding me. Only did 113 damage.
They're out of trouble. They're that wonderful anchor for Verhest Spartan. He was always going to be powerful.
Oh,
All of them for the Netherlands, so they were good
oh,
halfway
goodness.
through the race, and then something happened here to leave them out of the medals.
Yeah, I didn't
Just reset it.
Great Britain needed that. Haven't had a goal for a couple of days now. That was a pretty convincing victory. Winning by a couple of metres. Romel Clay wasn't going to be caught there. Down the home straight.
Winning's under measure, aren't
Right up alongside the Germans, but pull away very quickly. Very, very impressive there.
they? I think so.
The Germans, well, they're always well drilled. And as you said, a bit of a surprise there for the Belgians. 38-70. Their official bronze medal time.
They were selling them
Crowds
clocks
in
for
the
the
stadium can relish that one. The women's 4x100 to come. That's the last event on the track. Of course, the women's high jump, still a little bit of mileage to go in that one just yet. Now, these are the changeovers. And there's this Great Britain there, 4th from the left. There's this Azu coming in for Great Britain. The first changeover, hands over to Hinchliffe. Was it legal? It was late, but it was okay. Yeah. Second changeover for Great Britain, the champions, of course. We think that one was very late indeed, but it was well before the yellow line that denotes the changeover
No,
zone.
really?
And here, well, coming through
Oh, that is so
is a
good.
Hughes handing over to Glaive, and I think that one looked okay as well. They were all late, British changeovers, but I think they were legit.
It's
Let's
so
hope and
good.
pray that medal distribution,
I will
Britain,
do it.
Germany and Belgium doesn't change.
Well, you see Charlie there of Italy. I was wondering what happened. He was right alongside Glaive when he got the baton, but then something goes here for Ciaccarelli. I think that's what opens the door for the
Your turn,
Belgians
please.
to get on the
Your turn,
podium.
please. Thank you.
Darnell Hughes celebrating halfway down the straight. Tim, I think they were doing very long changeovers. Each athlete was at the start of the changeover zone, and after failing to get the baton round in Tokyo, failing to get it round in Gaborone at the World Relay Championships, I think there was a slight safety there for these guys. Let's just move ourselves a few metres back and start at the front of that changeover zone. And yeah, because it looked long. It took a long time for each changeover to happen, but I wonder if that was a bit of a safety as well.
Well, it is about baton speed, keeping the baton shifting at maximum speed. You don't want it to decelerate at all in between athletes. Getting it right enough there. I think those that will be digested and cut open, and there'll be not a post-mortem because they took the gold medal, but they will look at that carefully. Relay medals, very, very important when you start looking at the medal table.
Second attempt at 195 from Maria Vukovic. With 2 attempts at 192. Oh, she tipples over. Wasn't a massive clearance. She's rattled it. And she
I don't have any of those. I have Universal and Dash 5 Dash.
195 so far. Mahujic hasn't got it yet. Hansel Helechenko all left trying to figure out 195, but Vukovic has it. She won Montenegro's first ever medal in Munich 4 years ago.
Please don't kill us when we're walking up this, please. Please don't kill us, please.
So precious. Second attempt for the world record on that. No chance in taking that.
Come on, Nicole.
Massive curve.
Away.
Very comfortable indeed. She didn't hold back at all there. She's not celebrating. She knows she's in second place. Vukovic in third place because she had a failing 192 as well before going clear.
Missed loser. Nice.
Well, you can see
Ow.
it's in the triple jump, but 18-15 out front for Diaz Hernandez, and there's been a lot of passing since then. At one point I wondered whether the top two might be done. We can't better that, but perhaps they can. Gogua, he was under pressure in the third round, got the distance he needed. Now, a chance of a medal, perhaps. 17:37.
Okay, so I've got an feel this.
Looks like he has improved here.
Okay.
I've seen a lot of windy readings. The
I've got
athletes
to
will be glad to be jumping
1% of
in
itself.
this
We
direction
can do
for that
the rest.
reason. Again, knees up nice and high to chest. Well, with that final phase, and gets that bit of extra distance. So, over 17. Watching on shore. Final round for Gogua. The French team that has underperformed a little bit at these championships. Of course, still a chance to make amends for that. 17:37, the target. Long waited for Gogua. Charlotte from 17:76, only behind Diaz Hernandez. 17:21 moves him up into fourth place. Very few athletes improving. In fact, he's the only athlete to do so in the second half of the competition so far. So, Ozibek of Turkey here. Three athletes from his nation, all involved. Kati actually retired after the second round. Sergio Simone Biasuti of Italy, preventing a possible clean sweep that they wanted. So same target for him, 17:37. Ozibek looking on. Chatiar was expected to be the best of his teammates. Red flag in the final round. Yeah,
One love.
personal best of 17:37. His teammate is 16:77 at best, but he's only 4 centimeters shy of that with a season's best. So Dalla Valle has passed after that second round attempt. Let's see what Diaz Hernandez Charlotte will do here.
I don't even understand how he's one-shotting everything, but he is.
Get ready to jump. Telling the officials he's definitely going to jump. Pedro Machado has passed. We haven't seen him since round 3. He'll be gathering energy. Do you think Dalla Valle's done, Alex? I really think. Yes, I can see it now. It has come up on my system. So perhaps a bit of an injury for Dalla Valle. It's round 6 heroics.
It's been quite extraordinary. And that is the question we've been asking, isn't it? How do you respond? Bichado, that's his competition over too. This might be a funny way to end, but yeah, as you said, this man is definitely jumping. And he has definitely made history. Never gone over 18 before. As we see 3 Turks. Still a proud moment to get 3 athletes in this final. 2 medals won by Italy. Dalla Valle already with the flag out, 1 eye over at his teammate. You have to feel for Bichado 2 European Championships in a row where he's been beaten by an athlete who's produced one of the best jumps in history. Fourth on the all-time list. He's psyching himself up for this. So sometimes he's not always the fire in the belly in the final round. Well, the pressure is off for Diaz Hernandez. What can he do in this final round? Looks like the ball is over. Yeah. They try to defend the athletes by saying in the final round, produce something to add loss of the title. But Tim was very clear earlier in these championships that, to be honest, he lost the fire in the belly. But 18-15 is absolutely extraordinary from this man. He's the second Italian to win this title. Last was Tim Donato in 2012 in Helsinki.
Not Bradley, is it?
Who was here coaching.
No, don't take your shoes off.
How you doing? All right, Claude, how are you?
Johnny's just a little bit down motorway, so we want late to see it so you can come and see you.
We can have you on a ball, boys.
So yes, hello.
Creativity,
Oh, thank you.
pure instinct. This is what winning is made of.
Right,
The Esports World Cup. All we need is the right gear.
Open door.
The connection we create is
I open door and
I
it's
should
not
be
there.
able to
That's
screenshot
not what you're
everything.
thinking.
where we can train outdoors all year round.
I know.
Fresh air, perfect conditions. This is where the road
Okay.
highlights gold medal.
And I kept thinking to myself, you know when Freya told me,
I'm bad with
and I kept thinking to myself,
That's up to us.
So we got reminded.
I don't think you should try to kill Ancient or Mitch. I'll take it down.
Always believe in the power of
Oh,
courage,
imagine
challenge,
it.
and big dreams. That's why we support the
Got
next
what?
generation of athletes on their path to success. Always. It's no accident we're here.
What do you think is going on? These things are going to end up being alien.
I've only just got them stopped crying.
It's like where history beckons. What an opportunity.
Okay, you should step back with this.
Oh, Johnny, don't tell anybody. Johnny might take thieves.
I'm frozen.
Jonathan!
Oh, look now, it's finished.
Little shop of antiques.
Tuesday at 9 on Quest.
Johnny!
Manchester City. Twice, 3 times the champion.
I'm gonna stream it.
You're going to say, see, Brandon, he might get you a job.
She's going to
I don't go into anything.
We've got
I already have. I don't need it.
Manchester City.
My friend set me up with
Some
it.
guys have flair, and then there's creative drivers.
It's
I'm glad they saw.
Mitch.
I don't like him there.
Yeah, I have tried Mitch. Tried Mitch. Tried Mitch. Tried Mitch.
So
Tried
goals
Mitch.
for Great Britain in both of the relays to round off what has been a stunning evening of
I
competition.
don't think you should try and
Let's take a look
practice
back, shall we, at the
because
finals
yeah,
from this
I
evening.
don't think you do much damage.
We got 100 metres bang,
As Yaroslav
100 metres win.
Lucic there
Now the white
celebrates a
problem.
victory in the high jump.
Killed it. He's out.
So here come the highlights of the evening. What a stunning performance
So we got
it was by that woman,
Ronaldo.
Kate O'Connor. She came into the final discipline, the 800 metres, needing to finish within about 3.5 seconds of Emma Osterwegel. She followed her through the first 700 metres and in the end did enough. An Irish record, a gold medal for Ireland. And if you look on reflection on that final day, it was a long jump of 6:55, the fifth discipline of the 7, which made all the difference. Here is the final result, 38 points in the end, separating O'Connor from Osterwegel. So big Doctor bronze for the Netherlands. Well, the women's 400 featured
I'm
a
using
quite brilliant performance
the arm I can
from the
have.
Norwegian.
As you can see from the wall.
Came off the bend in front, and she simply
I don't
ran
think it's
away
like
with
the
field,
best
defeating
in my opinion,
Italian
but it is good because it's legit carried me through the aquatic temple.
And in the end,
She must have
the
won.
margin of victory was more than a second. Kowiecka and Poland taking silver. Lika Klamer, a bronze for the Netherlands. Well, at the 400 metres, Reborn was a
What's that? I thought you were
It was a
mad.
similar story in the men's 10,000
Do not
metres.
tell
I might have a
Shirley,
med set for
do not
you
tell
for 165.
Jessica and
Maybe.
if I find out
I
you
know.
told anybody,
Maybe.
I'll let you tell people when
Completed the
they're
second
visiting.
5,000
Oh,
metres
my
in
God.
13 minutes and 18
So
seconds.
don't look in your mouth.
Held them back here. I bought like some for 20 billion yesterday.
Back in 1978, 48 years ago. So gold for Sweden. Dominic Lepalu, who's got a wonderful backstory for Switzerland
I'm not
picking
gonna
up
do
silver.
it
And Jimmy
on Monday,
Cressier,
or
world
like
champion,
2 days after.
bronze for
Don't
France. And what about this in the 1500 metres? What a finish from Stefan Nilsson. Hopes of British medals were high, particularly so with Jake Whiteman and Jake Haywood
That's not good, is
in
it?
the front with about 200 metres to go. They were leading coming into the straight, but look at the finish here.
Let's just have a plus my outlook boost because I'm using
To beat two world champions.
When you get big, my phone,
And in the end, the British run out of it altogether.
you do that, bit with them.
Feel strong of Sweden
So
took silver
now,
and a bronze. Yet more celebrations for the Irish through Andrew Koskora.
Thank you.
Well, it was a dramatic conclusion to the men's javelin. Julian Weber had opened up with 83.71. Then saw Nick Tum go to 83.76 in round 5. And then what about this, right at the end? Julian Weber, who won by just 38 centimetres in 2022 in Munich, 4 years on, wins by the greatest ever margin, but it took his final throw to do it. 90 metres 40 and breaking the long-standing championship record of Steve Backley, which goes all the way back to 1998.
just got this.
Well, Yaroslava Mahuchik. There were a couple of wobbles along the way. She took 2 jumps at 195, the ball behind the pole, Mia Zudzik. But it was her first time clearance of 197, which in the end took the title. Here it is. Both
I'll
Zudzik
do the streams
and
but I
Maria
want to do
Vukovic
10.
of Montenegro couldn't get over at
Got
197. So
at
that
5 tomorrow.
decided it. Mahuchik, gold for
Not
Ukraine.
tomorrow, the day.
And then the men triple jump. Andy Diaz Fernandez started off with a no
Okay,
jump. It was a
everyone's out.
huge no jump. The former Cuban, the current world indoor champion, a bronze medalist at the Olympic Games back in 2024, produced this in the second round, beyond 18 metres.
You see? Thank
An
you.
Italian national record, yet another title at these European Championships for Italy, who lead the medals table. Pedro Peixoto of Portugal was second. Andrea Dalla Valle of Italy, the bronze. Well, the relays at the end of the day, they belong to Britain. This delivering the 5th gold medal of the week for the British team, brought home by the individual 100 champion, Rommel Glave.
And one tap this boss if I actually use the
Silver for Germany,
AR
bronze
and
for
then postal. Is it like that?
38.45, the winning time
Yeah.
for the British quartet. Well, the women's sprint hurdle had been billed as a head-to-head between Britain and the Italians. In the end, it turned out to be a pure demonstration. And
If you
look at
need
Amy
a
Hunt,
Triton Major, I'm
the
not got
individual
some
100 and 200 meters.
because you know
She took
what
off down
in
the back
edge.
straight. There she goes, 3 from the left. And all they needed to do after that
All
was
right.
pass the back. And Marnie Lara Lansico brought it home. A third goal for Amy Hunt. And a sixth for the British team. Look
Yep.
at that.
Yep.
Winning margin of more
I've
than
got
1 second.
green try
That is
to
huge.
mage. I
So
would
this
say.
is how the medal table looks
Just
with just
look at my
1 day to go.
storage.
Italy, 8 goals. They had
Yep.
a
Trap
wonderful
mage.
morning.
Trap mage.
This
Trap
morning,
mage.
two
Wonder what all this
awards
was.
goals.
Got
In
some
the end, they
trap
are the
mage.
difference between the Italians and the
I ain't
Brits.
upgraded
First
any.
goal tonight for Ukraine.
What marathon? Do they have to do that yet?
15 nations with at least 1 gold medal at these championships.
I don't need it. You can have it. Yeah.
We're not a bottom for change.
Well,
I've got to
that's
level
it
up to
from us. We're
175
back. 25
that I've
past 7 in
by
the morning.
tomorrow
The 2
or
marathons.
when I get back
Here you go.
Marathons,
This
pole vault,
lays it out for you.
javelin, women's
from
javelin.
the
Women's
Triple
marathon
gun.
starts at
Long jump.
7:30. Men's marathon 40
Just
minutes later.
3
All
days
run
ago.
from the centre of Birmingham, and then we're back in the evening for
7
a final
a.m.
evening session. Men's vault,
Yeah, that's
So I
women's
won't be
javelin,
able to
women's long
like
jump, finals
do
all the
anything
way.
on Tuesday.
Then where's the ones?
Also,
Oh, yeah,
happy
evening
to
one.
see the Alexander Stadium filling up tonight.
Tuesday
Single
or
chairs,
Wednesday or
Mixed
women's
4x1
15
relay
relay.
final. That's something of innovation.
4x4
got
will
to
be
this
linked
one
up with
because
4x4.
yeah,
George
that's what I need
Bell
to
goes for
take.
Great Britain in that.
It's not like a pill, it's like some medicine that I need to take. Which I'll probably just put in my bag.
I've got 6. Just in case we need to do it for not. We don't.
Okay, now 55 is impossible on this. I don't understand how I've done that. Well, it probably isn't impossible, but it's very hard to even do. Because you've got to clear everything of this dungeon, as well as kill this boss. I've got that. Thanks. No, we can just go back to lobby and trade if you want. After this dungeon, of course. Because if one of us gets like EIR or EIF, that'd be insane. Imagine if... No, I won't get it from daily because I'm level 175. Alright. Let's get back to lobby and trade after this one. Stupid man. I've gotten every single
Come on, bugger.
like game pass currently in this game. So like +1 item, 2 times gold, VIP, and also the 3-star resets. Because I don't want to spend money on something that's legit going to be useless. It kind of is useless, but you'd rather buy it than just having to spend like 100k in it every time. That's so be annoying. And there's actually a reason for it now. Because you can turn to mage or warrior.
Let's go for a walk.
I know it's like nothing, but it's nothing now.
We'll go for a walk. Come on, in the kitchen now.
Hmm?
Move.
Am I taking dog out?
In the kitchen.
Probably not taking him out. Just tricking him to get me in the kitchen. No, it's nothing to like reset start points, but I'd rather not spend money on it because it's so stupid to do. Give me something better.
You knew what I was going to do.
When I load in, let me get out my storage, then I'll give it you. Storage. Which one's better? That one. And this. So yeah, trade me. I'll trade you. I'll trade you. And it's, I think it's like level 166. Yeah. Here's your perfect level for it. You're welcome. I think you should put it on. I'll just join. Alright, you can start. Oh yeah, tomorrow I'm gonna watch something on my TV behind me. So yeah. I'm gonna watch a movie on my TV behind me, so yeah. I've got Blade Fall as well, so yeah. Let's hope this does all the damage it needs. Or I'll change back to my other one. Okay. Yeah, I'm changing back to these because they are way better. Okay, you can do it. Oh, because I just gave you Triton Mage. Okay, I'll help. If I need. And you're welcome. Because now you're one-shotting things. You don't one-shot like the bosses or anything, but you do one-shot the mobs. I'm on my way. Okay, stupid. I'm sleeping on the sofa tonight because it's too warm. Yeah, I don't think you can get the EIF or EIR from this. I don't think you can. Maybe on the old one, but not on this one. Gonna ask a question in the Dungeon Quest group because I'm not sure if you can, but okay. I'll ask it after this, so please don't start it straight away when you get it in. Nice. Or you can ask the question. How do you know? Yeah, no, you can drop it from Enchanted NM, but I'm not sure if you can drop it from this. Don't start straight away. Let me just ask a question. Okay, I'm gonna ask. I'm just asking. I know you can drop it from all. I'm not sure about VC, but I know you can drop it from the highest dungeon that you're in. And they've just hide. No, I don't. Even though I probably do. Okay, so I can't make it. Well, a lot of my time will be when in stream, but I'll probably continue playing this. So yeah, we can grind pretty long, but maybe. Yeah. Oh yeah, my phone is off, so I'm not getting any like distractions from it. Because yeah, I don't want to get like distractions from it. Because I'm not really looking for a girlfriend currently. I'm not really looking for anything. Yeah, that's all good. Do you have bear spells on them? Because they take 14 seconds to cool down. Kind of stupid how long it takes to go down. So 10 days. So dumb how long it takes them to go down. I got 2 revitalizers, but yeah, they're kind of useless until you're like my level 170. Bull. Alright. Let me just. I don't know, I can't remember. Trash, yeah. My God, I would love to think you'd start it. Go to him. So you can get it, but I think it'll be like a really small chance. In 6 minutes, and I'll end. But if I do get it in that time, I'll be happy. I don't even care. I'll be happy. I'll be even happier after I go to this place. Ooh. Because yeah, I'm going on a bus to like Paris. I'm not telling you where exactly because I don't know where exactly. Well, good luck, because I only think I'll be gone for like 2 days max. Maybe then you'll be able to guide me. God damn it, why does it not do damage? It should be okay. Oh, good. Give me some food, please. I know you can get from Northernland's Nightmare. It's a lot easier to get from there, but yeah. Will probably be a lot easier to get from like Aquatic Temple 171 Nightmare. I would expect it to be really easy to get it from level 175. The old game, okay. I think I also got one from NL, but I traded it for some crap armor. In the old game, though, so don't worry. I have also asked how much it costs, but I haven't really got an answer. Let me just ask right now. There we go. Oh, I've leveled up to level 4. Don't worry, I'll kill. Okay, where are you off? Alright, calm down. I just asked how much EIF was in Dungeon Quest, like that one. But yeah, I don't think anyone's answered yet. I'll just look. King's Castle isn't impossible. It's quite easy when you're high leveled. No, because I don't really need that. Oh, sorry. I'm just looking at things on Discord, which I do think you would be able to see. I'll kill that little orb so it don't kick any of us off. There we go, I've killed it. I've taken it out. If you want a VC at 11, I'll be able to. You've got to stop killing all the bosses. I think he's using that for the one he is using for the spell. Alright. Let me just heal you. There we go. Healed you. You're welcome. I've got pretty good stuff in Enchanted Forest Nightmare, which is pretty good here, I think. Alright, so let's calm down. I also got Aquatic Temple, Aquatic Assassin, and also no, that one. Give me something good. Yep. Didn't join a pal, you and me. If you want VC, we can, believe me. Alright. See you. Okay. You might want to leave an auto clicker on your mouse. Because yeah, if you get kicked, I don't know what to do. I'll probably leave when it gets to 11. And I'll just join back. So I'm able to help you. We could probably find someone to do Aquatic Temple with Carriers. Nightmare. Which I need to see how much damage I do. Because yeah, these aren't very good test dummies. Or I can find someone to do Enchanted Forest. After we do help you, of course. Because I need 2 levels to be able to use the stuff my friends gave me. And then I paid 20 bill for something yesterday. You're so lucky. I've got to look at this. VIP. God, fuck. Oh my god. And Sunjun does get boring after a bit. And even been doing this for long, and it's boring me. I definitely have more. Yeah, I have 6. So I should have the determined title, but I don't. We now. Shit. I'll do one more, then I'm. I'll send it to SFM. I don't think he'll know, but might as well. Yes, good, it has been passed on to him. No. I'm sure now that you believe, not 100% sure, but that's all. $3.589 mil. Alright, so you have 4 minutes and then I'll be gone. So 1 trillion gold is how much EIF or EIR sells for. How much good do you even have a pal? $50. Okay. I've got 2 notifications on Discord. I'll check it after I do this final boss. Yes, I will. Oh. Sorry, what did you say? Oh. It will go down soon. I do believe to like 100 billion. Because so many people are going to get it. Because they have their alts on. I'm probably going to try bring my alts on and just grind for it. Maybe. Like bring an alt on at a time. Maybe. I don't know because yeah. Or I might be able to bring 2 on. Because I do have my phone as well as this. So I might be able to log into 2 at once. I'm not sure, so I'll be able to get myself on my phone. Well, on my computer, which will be on my phone. If you want a VC, we can as well. Yeah, no way 955 is possible. Right, so yeah, after this, I'll be going back to the lobby, saying goodbye to all. And yeah, I'll be ending stream. I probably won't even be playing on this a lot more longer. Alright, so yeah. See you guys. Also, like button, subscribe button, and share. Don't be peace out for me. Bye, guys. See ya.